What's happening, family? This is your man, CRB Jr., Cordy Robert Brown Jr., here at Motown Mafia Broadcast, which, of course, is a Big Boss Filmwork production. I hope you guys are well out there in the world. All is well here in the D and Motown Mafia land. We have a special and always appreciated guest when he has the opportunity to grace our platform. A lifelong friend and, of course, son of the legend, Eddie the Fat Man Jackson himself. Eddie Baby, Eddie Jr., how you doing, family?
Man, how you feeling it? How you feel, bud? It's good to be home.
That's
Let me
good.
say that. It's good to be home.
This cold weather ain't messing with you.
Yeah, you know, it's a little cold, but it's good to be home.
It's good. Ain't no place
This
like
is
home.
the Dirty D, baby. This is the Dirty D.
Speaking of Dirty D, that's a homegirl from Detroit. Shout out, go watch over on Tubi. Since you done gave her the free plug, I'll follow up. You know that?
Who?
There's a show on Tubi called The Dirty D.
No.
From a homegirl here. A homegirl factory friend. Shout out to our girl Michelle Moore, who co-authored the book. Motown Mafia podcast, Motown Mafia, Memoirs of a Kingpin's Kid, and Michelle actually has a movie project that I believe will be seen on Tubi. But her homegirl has a series called The Dirty D.
Wow.
That is
Congratulations to Michelle and
homegirl. Yeah. So good shout out to that. In fact, early shout out, we'll be participating again as we do every year, supporting Michelle. She got the Hustle and Grind. Hustle and Grind book fair, yeah.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it.
Yep. And I think some other homegirls, your girl Big 50 gonna come by again.
All right, now that side of live.
Yeah, so it should be a good time. It should be a real
doubt
good time.
about it. When is that gonna be?
June 10th, I'm thinking Big Boss is gonna be we gonna put Luke. Oh, speaking of, we got always the other half of Big Boss Filmworks, Big Lou Stevens over there. How you feeling?
Well, I'm good, man. I'm good.
Everything.
Hey, man, big things coming.
Big things coming. Yeah, we just waiting to dot some I's, cross the T's. We got to hire some people before we fire some people.
Say that loud. Say that loud.
It's like I tell the broad, you about to be my next wife. So we gotta hire some people. Then we gonna fire some people. But y'all, it's a lot of interesting things going on. Shout out to the whole Detroit movie crew that's going out there. If you guys do not know, some of the best drama about our culture is coming out of the D right now.
That's right.
So shout out to all those guys. Shout out to those guys.
Salute.
Ed McGraw Ave and those guys. Mulan. Shout out to
Peace
Dennis Reed and what he's doing. And Camille and the Shoe Lady. There's a whole roster of people here in Detroit that are doing their thing, and we looking forward and excited, of course, right, Mr. Jackson and Lou, to joining the tribe.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So,
the home team got to get with the home.
The home team got to get with the home team.
Hey, they say
know it.
Game recognized game.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
So we're going to be letting y'all know the details as they unfold. But, yeah, it's long overdue, and Big Bosses and Real True Street Crimes and the rest of the Detroit film community, we about to link up and put our resources and our connections together with their talents and their expertise. And we think we're going to be able to do something real special over the next few years.
Mm-hmm.
Something real special over the next few
Long
years.
time coming.
Long time coming.
Yeah.
So on that, we're going to talk a lot about this legend that had some unfortunate incidents come up. But while we on that, about long time coming, Lou was just speaking about Snowfall.
Yeah.
And that it just had its season finale, right?
Series finale.
Series finale,
It's
right?
over with.
And then we were talking off camera, and Brother Eddie had said that Snowfall was cool, but he enjoys the BMF series more.
I really do.
More than...
I honestly do.
And I agree.
I think BMF is a better series to me. Maybe I'm biased because of the Detroit thing, and but I really like the Demetrius Flannery story. It's a wonderful story.
It is, and so I'm saying, it is not, I don't think it's a stretch. Everybody, Freeway Ricky, that whole story of the big L.A. crack dealer who was getting plugged in from the CIA, and rest in peace to John Singletary. But people in our community and coming out the street somehow, always until recently, to what 50 Cent and Meech are doing. They like to tell our story. They like to make rap songs about it. But then when it's time to give us our credit, now everybody get quiet. You know, all shout out, love me some Ricky Rose, love what Rick Ross is doing, especially as a businessman. I like him more as a businessman than his music, and I think Rick Ross is a talented artist too. And it ain't my place to get in it, what happened with him and Freeway Ricky, but let's be clear. Again, that's another example. So that man, Freeway Ricky, that went away and did all that time. Now,
Right.
you Snowfall, they making, what is it, seven seasons? How many seasons?
I think it's been about 6 seasons total.
6 seasons. Not one producer credit. Not one consulting check. Okay? Brother Ricky Rose, Maybach Music. Now, I ain't saying that you wasn't a hitter, but you did use that man's name and celebrity. And again, I'm not going to get into it. I mean, Rick Ross, I don't know the man, and I do like his music. But I'm saying that it's just bad that a guy like Freeway Ricky and people from the culture like him, we just, when it's been time to get the bag, to get the check out the deal. So on that, we was all saying, you know, shout out again to 50 Cent, them good people at G Unit.
Yeah.
To the people at Stars, and shout out to Southwest T and Meech and Little Meech, because I'm not going to get caught up in all the rah-rah in the streets.
Yeah.
But it's just good. As Jay-Z said, you know, all the hustlers love us just to see one of us make it, man.
No doubt about it.
That's right.
It's time to see one of us make it, man.
And let's not try to pull the brother down.
Let's not.
Let's pick him up and let's go say BMF #1.
Number one show in the country.
Shout out. All of that. Nothing but love.
You know,
At least
and,
you could wish
but
you luck.
and then as they start off being
that's a
with,
good
at
one.
least you could wish them luck, man.
Wish him love.
At least you could wish
That's right.
real truth. You ain't got to do nothing for Eddie, baby, but at least you could wish him well.
Yeah, you see?
Luck, man.
Man, wish you could wish us luck, man.
There you go.
I mean, for all that we did and went through and the sacrifices, and yet we was well compensated financially. So ain't nobody looking for no pity or no pat on the back. But damn, if the good folks at Netflix and you got Godfather Harlem, I love Forrest Whitaker and what he doing. But how much money Bumpy Johnson family getting out of Godfather Harlem? You want me to help out the cruel part? Not one red penny. How much money did Madam Queen's family get out of Hoodlum? Not one
Not
red
a
penny.
ruble.
You got 3 great projects that chronicle Bumpy Johnson: the Cotton Club, Hoodlums, and now Godfather Harlem. Any of them good people ever thought about saying, hey man, you know, we should look out, we should find Bumpy's grandkids or something, man, since we making all this money? But it doesn't work that way though, family. And so that's why we here at Big Boss Filmworks and at Real True Street Crimes, you know, we committed to telling our stories. And, you know, I was just, this last week, a couple guys you familiar with, and of course, you know, we gonna put this thing together. I was talking to, shout out to a street legend again, I was talking to Doc Davis. We still in some communication, seeing how we can link up and do some stuff, whether it be in the movie industry or pie business. Guy who I know is a friend of your father's, Felix Walls, who I know you believe has one of the most fascinating stories out there, right?
I'm captivated by it. You all don't know him, but it is a captivating story, and it's Felix Walls. And hopefully, sooner or later, he'll bring you the story himself.
Yeah. So yeah, I spoke to him, and I'll be honored to see you again with Doc and Felix. Anything I can do or lend to help him on another legend out of this city that hasn't, who among the city is famous but don't get spoke to. You was actually on the phone when we in LB Buxton. That's of the fake Pony Boys. If anybody remembers that whole YBI era.
Pony down.
Pony Down made their mark in this town. You can't talk about this town in the 80s. And if you leave out Pony Down, then you ain't telling the whole story.
You got to be leaving them out. If you leave them out, you would be not telling the complete
Story. And
they in the sun.
they did. And then, you know, it's a lot of overlaps. LB and Doc and Seal Murray was all linked up together. And Doc, in fact, if you listen to some of the stuff that our buddy, shout out to Al Prophet, shout out to Scott Bernstein and the rest of the original team. You look at that stuff that Al Prophet did with Doc Davis. Doc talks about how he was supplying both Seal.
Right.
Shout out to Sylvester Seal Murray, another Detroit legend. I believe Seal's still doing very well, and that's a good thing.
Right.
And LB Bucks. Which see, our platform, we not here to hate. We understand, man. And also then, me and the big homie KK stay in touch. And he's got some things going on.
Peace and love to KK, definitely.
Big up.
On that, I don't know if you'll be in town. 5-0's brother, Charlie Garrett, is having something. Another legend, Slim, down there.
What do you have?
They having a thing down there, birthday party next month.
Wow.
And so I think me and Lou, we Big Boss, we definitely gonna try to get down there in Crown Cliff. The Garrett family, they famous. 5-0, Zach, you did some work on Junie. In fact, you covered Junie's story.
Garrett famous. The Garrett family is world famous.
World famous, right?
World famous.
Right.
5-0. But love.
Right?
That's my man. Ronald 5-0.
Mo Garrett.
That's
true when we say street legend, that's not like an exaggeration.
No.
5-0's a real.
Was my man.
5-0 street
Out of
legend.
all of them, 5-0 was the one. As soon as 5-0 used to come over to the house, I'd jump right in his lap, start eating Norfolk.
Yeah.
And get food and eat, sitting on everything. Yeah. 5-0 was the one him and Joe Weaver was I really took to them two there, boy.
So link back up with the good people at the Brewsters. Now it was always ground zero. And
so what they having a Brewsters reunion?
well, they gonna do the Brewsters reunion. We gonna chronicle again, but Slim, who we had met last year down at the Brewsters, he was talking about him and your daddy he was in your daddy's homeroom class, like in 4th grade.
Oh yeah.
And one of the many people, as one of the old timers was saying, the one thing about your pops, if you didn't get no money messing with Eddie Jackson, you just didn't want no money.
I would agree with that. Cause David, if he wants you to have it, he was just gonna give it to you.
So, but anyway, so Slim and Charlie's early birthday, we're gonna come down there and make sure help you guys get your roses while you here. But back to that BMF Snowfall thing. I think the difference again, because they was trying to skirt around whether this was really Freeway Ricky. BMF, we talking about Southwest T and Meach, right?
No doubt.
Better yet, they did even the most solid. You got his blood playing him.
That's wonderful.
Right? They did change some names, but at least they had enough again. For real, they didn't have to do that blowing money fast docu-series. But they said, you know what, let's try to give Edie Boy, because they got Wood Harris playing the other character, Wood Harris from The Weird, who was playing Edie Boy. Lamar, they changed his name, but they didn't even, one of the names they changed, they never tried to run away from. These is the guys we talking about.
And that was wonderful because that is what made the show. In fact, Lamar is one of my favorite characters.
You love that character, right?
Man, I love Lamar. That motherfucking character.
from the props about the.
You like that wild shit Lamar be doing though.
So far, he's my favorite character. Lamar is a motherfucking man. Boy, that nigga. I like his character. That nigga's a fool.
He a boogeyman.
That's a real trading, and that's what I'm saying. So they adapt you now when they talk about Lou's Deli or Belle Isle.
Hump the Grinder, Air Wars.
So I was talking, I thought that was really cool. Hey, how they brought his younger sister, and then if you was a sister growing up and they did hair business, and they bring that, they say in the BMF, we known for hustlers and cars in Detroit, but don't forget we've been known for the hair game for a long time.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
And the fact that they took the time and again, when they're writing this stuff, they don't have to add these things in. They're trying to at least you can see they fall short sometimes, but they're trying to give us in our culture its roses.
Yeah.
Right. That picture they didn't have they didn't have to throw that and blowing money fast.
Right.
They didn't have to give Demetrius and Mozzie rest in peace.
And a shout.
They shout, but they did.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not naive or remiss to understand it doesn't work that way, because there's a lot of platforms out there, that take stories about your dad or stories that you said And we've said, and that, I mean, the whole crew, whether it's Kevin Child or any of the real people out there, their content and their stories get twisted and turned all the time for these Hollywood writers. They're not that creative. It's just our lives were that over the top that it makes it easy when you steal our stories to put a little twist here and a little twist there and call it original content. And but us and the good people at Tubi and some of the other platforms, we're going to address a lot of that.
Well, we're about to hit our actual content. Understand that. And we're going to give them the real stories. And we ain't going to really guss them up for Hollywood unless Hollywood buy them and wants to guss them up, and then that's all. But as far as when we tell it, just like when we told One Crazy Summer, we told exactly what happened. Now, when Hollywood got a hold of it, instead of Fat Steve being shot and out for 2 weeks, he was shot and killed.
There you go. There you go.
That's a perfect example of what Hollywood do to the story. When they want, they own it. They decide to tell it. They felt it would be more captivating to the audience if he was shot in the end.
Shout out to the real legend who is, thank God, still with us. Shout out to Big Steve.
No doubt.
Yeah.
That was One Crazy Summer. That 2 weeks my brother was out. That was One Crazy Summer.
I mean, just that whole, not that they try to stay, of course, but the fact that that there are levels to this thing. The fact that you and Steve, you and Five were even plotting to go find this white guy pilot, and that you guys had the imagination even to think like that you guys are going to pay to get a plane fixed.
Then I thought, the fact, man,
That's your dad pulling the strings down, yeah. Your dad, but that's what I'm saying, the different levels of this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that a guy like Five would have that much imagination to say, you know what, Eddie, that ain't a crazy idea. That's a good idea.
they got it.
Let's give it a shot.
Every goddamn thing fell apart. Did you really believe that?
I mean,
Demetrius was all
it was a long shot from the beginning. It was a long shot.
playing him getting killed in a way. Five got shot. He went to jail right after that. So that really killed that. Because after getting shot, getting out the hospital, him and Lois went to jail. All of them went to jail after that.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
All that wild beef over there in Winterhalter landed all of them in penitentiary. Federal penitentiary.
They would be up in Milo with your dad.
And Sports Illustrated. So now you're talking about another national magazine, and at that time, Sports Illustrated was a very hot magazine, a little hotter than it is today.
Yeah.
But it was in Sports Illustrated, and that was the talk of the town. Almost like when my man bought the house in Sherwood Forest.
We talking John Sally?
No. The brother that was Hustler back in
You talking about Bobo now?
John Class.
Oh, when Claxton back in the day. I bought his house upon.
One house in South Hollywood.
Yeah.
It was that kind of news. Niggas didn't live in Palmer Woods at that time.
Shout out to the Bobo family too down there in Memphis. That already brought the name.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Legends. True Memphis and Detroit legends. All of them.
Out of bond.
It's a great story Pops tells about them catching up with the Bobos. And one time they lost all their money. Your Pops gave them money to keep gambling, to have a good time. And believe it or not, one time, I think your Pops then jacked off about $250,000 and Bobo and them was in pocket. Right. And he come back and say, man, I don't want to have to call back to Detroit. And of course, they said, well, man, we know you got it. What you need? Say, let me hold about 50 till I get back home. I want to play one more night in the Bobos and them upper league game. But yeah, shout out to all them, James, Bill, and the whole Bobo clan down. Real guys, man. They don't make guys like them no more, man.
Oh, one of a kind.
We just don't. So I too, no style. I'm gonna get caught up though and watch that whole Snowfall thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all three of us. I do gotta do that.
Yeah, you know. But from what I've seen so far, I'm with you. I'm more in the BMF camp.
And it just feels so much more like the home team.
It is the home team.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, so many connections.
Trying to be biased.
I mean, I know.
Watch it from a point of view of, both stories.
Yeah.
And really how they flow. The actors in there. As I say, Lil Meech coming along perfect.
Yeah.
So, I mean, his is all coming together because he's really fitting into it, looking like his dad. He's really coming into his own.
Yeah. No
So that's really helping the show because he's coming into his own.
Absolutely.
Snowfall is kind of like, see, that's what I mean. You know, it's I got to look at it.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna take it up. Like,
I mean, flat down.
Yeah.
let's switch up lanes for a second, fellas. You guys have heard we've chronicled them a little bit. Al Prophets chronicled them, Scott and a bunch because he was caught up deeply in with your guy, Demetrius Holloway. Unfortunately, he was arrested about a month ago, 6 weeks ago, and that's a guy by the name of Big Ed Hanserd. Big Ed Hanserd was in Detroit in the mid to late 80s. He was about as big as they come. He's integral part, of course, of that Maserati Rick Demetrius story. He was caught in Ohio, according to, and again, he ain't been convicted of nothing. He ain't went to trial. But what we do know is he was arrested. According to the media, 2 keys of cane, two couple pounds of weed. And of course, he's a convicted felon, so we know he did a stand-up guy. He did 20 plus years from that thing back in the 80s. And so, of course, we wish him well with his legal situations, but it kind of break your heart when you see real big fellas like that get drawn back into it. I mean, what you think on that, Jay?
Well, let me give you really the editorial of it so you really take it from the real one. This is how I really feel. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. Nowhere in the world. You just got out of jail for 20 years and you're going right. You've been out 3-4 years. Now you finna go back for another 20. And it ain't looking so well, the picture you showed me. So I would never say personally, but a lot of people say Carmel is why he fucked up now because how him and Maserati went out. But see, I don't look at it like that. I look at it as my pops died in the federal penitentiary. And right now, he is lined up to do the same thing.
And we pray that's not the outcome.
Well, at this point, you're talking about 2 keys of cane. He's 60 years old. Let's say bare minimum 20 years. You're talking 80 years old.
You cop for the cop military.
Well, see, no, you was just the person talking about you can't cop unless you're snitching now.
I mean, back in the day, right?
What you said.
That is right. So
What you
let me
just
clear this up so we don't have no internet confusion. I am not in any way suggesting that man is cooperating or anything. That ain't what we said. We was having a conversation off camera that back in the day, before this snitching thing became an epidemic, back in the day, I get popped. I think I got a loser case going to trial. I ain't trying to bring down my friends with me. You used to could just tell the feds, look, I'm gonna plead guilty, man. I'm not talking. I'm gonna save the taxpayers some money, so y'all usually gonna give me a little more rhythm for saving y'all the time and efforts of this trial.
Right.
So used to be, you'd be looking at 30. If you just cop out, you get your 20. Right? That's how it used to be.
Does Ed deserve that? His reputation.
Well, that's all gonna be a problem.
Look at him and say,
That's the problem.
okay, we're gonna do you a favor.
That's the
We're
problem.
gonna let you cop for 10 years and we can guarantee you get 20 out of you.
That's the problem. That's the problem.
Yeah.
So I go back to the beginning of the statement. He's 60 years old, 20 years he'll be 80.
It's a rough dude.
Yeah, man.
It's a rough dude. But so what I want to talk though is how hard it is. And I think for a lot of audience who ain't been around these kind of guys, ain't lived the life we've lived. How, when your money, when you to live at a certain level and to accept that them times have changed and to find a new way. We was talking about reinvent yourself.
For you, one word.
What's that?
One of my viewers on Real True Street Crime. He asked me just today. He said, are you rich, Eddie? Are you still rich? I looked at him and I said, no, I ain't rich, but I'm happier than I ever been when I was rich.
Wow.
Wow. That's a
Wow.
deep. Let that sink in.
Yeah. Ponder that one. Say that one more time, Mr. Jackson.
I ain't rich now, but I'm happier now than when I was rich. Because I had to constantly watch my back.
Worry about doing your 20.
I can't let nobody know where I live. I can't let nobody know where I'm putting this money at. I can't let nobody know where the dope at. So it's a real problem.
Right.
You ain't sleeping good at night, nigga.
And there's some policemen that would like to incarcerate you.
All of that.
There's some niggas that would like to rob.
Be following you.
Feds might be following you. You got local, state, and federal who want to incarcerate you.
I'm sitting on $3 million.
You got some niggas who might want to harm you and your loved ones for that
I
money.
got $3 million.
There you go. I mean, we don't talk about it much.
So now what's really the joy of life? The money or happiness?
The happy.
Which would you choose, the money or the happiness?
I mean, so me and you have talked about it. Maybe I came to the realization 20 years ago. I told Pop that was right before we hooked up at Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
And he was waiting on that one more throw from Muhammad and the Pakistani plug. Of course, chasing that one more throw was going to cost him another 6 years of his freedom. And thank God that Muhammad and good people, whatever, we able to go into what they did up in the mountains, and that whole Bin Laden Taliban situation all end up some shit way above our pay grade.
Yeah.
The government had no interest for a lot of reasons in that case going to trial. So Muhammad and the Pops and all them got off relatively because the U.S. government had no interest.
Yeah.
In fact, the government said, we're not going to talk about
Much
happening.
bigger fish to
We're
fry.
not going to talk about what's going on up there in the mountains of Afghanistan and Pakistan.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to do that. We're going to get them niggas about 7-8 years, and we'll keep this shit moving, all of them going. We're going to sit behind their ass. You got to go back to Pakistan, Brown. You sit over here quiet for about 6 years. You don't even need to talk to nobody. And the other niggas disappearing off the indictment was on the indictment. It was some crazy shit going on.
That's what I'm saying. Now you would.
You were too early. Right. And the last right. And Attorney Anthony Chambers is telling me, they're gonna come with a superseding indictment for the rest of you niggas.
Well, they tell me trust your neck diamonds.
But all that to say, I came to the conclusion that Pops, what we didn't make, and then I didn't even what we didn't make. What we didn't say, shame on us. And it's over. It's over. It ain't no sense in us trying to, you ain't gonna never catch, we can't reinvent what the big man did, and you helped up when he helped working for your father with the magic they created. And the magic they created threw them off for years and threw this whole town off, because trying to create that lightning in a bottle thing again, and them kind of runs I understand it. And then God blessed us again with that Pakistani run, which wasn't close to the big show your pop put on, but it was a hell of a run in its own right.
I seen the white fruit.
You see, so what we didn't keep is over. I'm not gonna go do some time trying to recreate.
Sometimes experience is worth a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
Don't forget that. It's the same experience you might have today. If you get the money, you're going to lose it to get the experience I have today. I've had
Tuition costs. Yeah.
but I ain't had one that I could put in the bank yet. That's my wish. If I can get lucky on Tubi or whatever we do, I done had many millions, but not one I could put in the bank.
Yes, that's a fact.
That's a fact.
Unbankable. I don't even think you probably were damn near in your 40s before you even used a credit card, weren't you? Did you? That's the truth.
But I think I was over 40 before I fucked with a credit card. I never fucked with them. It was just cash.
It was a cash word.
Whoa.
Cash cow business. I didn't take credit card. I didn't take checks or food.
I know you used to piss me off not taking checks. Junior, you gotta go to Jimmy with that shit, all right? I ain't taking no check.
I ain't got that. You know, that's just, it ain't a check game. It just ain't a check game.
Yeah, us his other friend, we tried to bring him into that, and big boy fucking with us, and I checked. I need cash. I need cash for my goods. So, but I'm sure your check is good. I'm sure your check is. I'm not saying your check's no good. I'm just saying I don't take checks.
Cash and carry.
So yeah, man. Again, we wish Big Ed had. Hey, you got it's hard giving up that life, man. But you know, he was in some negotiation. He said there was some street talk. In fact, when we were at the Brewski reunion, it was like the first time we heard it. Lil Bootsy was supposed to be entertaining, doing a story about Big Ed, and
Yeah.
It's hard, man, when you had the kind of money that man. It's hard. Because you can't really see yourself working for somebody else. Because it's always in the back of your mind, I'm going to go back and pitch and get the money together I need to do whatever project I'm trying to do. And sometimes it just don't work out like that.
most times it don't work out like that.
Yeah.
Like I say, sometimes it don't work out like that.
Once you famous, you can't become unfamous.
Well, that's the problem.
Yeah, your name ringing bells all over.
You can't tell them people it ain't you, that it was an accident. I really don't know what I was doing. I got all caught up. I'm just transport. He can't say that.
It was named draw a red flag whenever he pulled it up.
Right.
You realize,
Right?
Yeah.
when they pull his name up, it automatically say, search his car for narcotics, he's Big Ed.
He's a
Every phone he touches is
It's like my father. Same thing for my father. When he gets stopped, the National Guard coming out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm serious. When they stop him, just sit there because National Guard coming.
That's a lot, man. So it's a lot in our culture that we gotta straighten out. I think again what Freeway Ricky is doing, whether it be with his books, his documentary. I just saw him on a podcast. He does have a movie project that looks like it's gonna be real.
That's nice.
The Freeway Ricky story, and he's gonna actually be involved in it himself.
Oh, that's the way.
You know, at least whoever he's partnered with, they're not taking his story. He's actively involved
Telling
in
his
story.
Yeah.
You know, what White Boy Rick? You know, I know people want to get caught up that he was a snitch and all that other man. He was a, you know, he was a child when this shit happened.
Jesus.
Man. He was a child and did 35 years, and people who ain't never did a day passing judgment on a guy who did 35 years.
What's the judgment they pass on? What's the judgment?
that he was a rat and he was a snitch and the white rat and all of this, and I from what we, you know, Scott and those guys covered the story.
Yeah.
Again, most of what he did, he wasn't even 17 when it was happening. So I mean, we be acting like the.
Let me be honest. If you want to put any real blame on it, it should go to the government.
Yes. Yeah.
I can't blame him.
I mean, that government and his pops. And his pops.
They took a 13-year-old kid, and this is what they did to him.
Yeah. And then when they was done using them.
Which is what they do to everybody.
But right, when they done using you, feed you to the wolves, right?
But we would think a 13-year-old kid,
You would get a pass.
you would something.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe a slap on the wrist, and you're going to do 5 or 10. But 30?
35.
God damn. That's a hell of a slap on the wrist, man. God damn.
But he's doing good now since he's been out. He's helping other people get out. He helped Mozzie's wife.
Wonderful thing.
That he
man.
did
Wonderful
there.
thing.
He's helped some other people get out. We carried, I think you gave him a shout. We networking up at the dispensary and you was helping us do some promotion.
Oh man.
His land brand,
weed.
his weed.
Shit.
And
He on the map with that to me.
yeah, big man, little man, shout out to the Curry boys. They got a strand.
See now, them motherfuckers started me to smoking and I ain't even mad. They
Oh,
strand.
we gotta do something.
Got the Curry boys shit. Man, them boys started me to smoking.
Right? And you gotta check out
Acapulco Gold.
G and them and BMFs. They're Death by Designer, Black Magic.
I got to go back to the beginning.
You want to try
Them
the Curry
boys
boy?
is the beginning.
All right.
Them boys is the beginning. God damn it, they need a dispensary named after them. That's how far they go back in the weed game.
That's a fact.
Fuck all that. I can tell you they go back 40 years for goddamn sure.
That's about when you
In the
ran
marijuana
into the
game.
Curry, smoked the. That was some of the first weed you smoked, wasn't it, Curry?
Acapulco Gold ran all the way on the east side to AC, Tony and Dennis to get that Acapulco Gold because they was fucking with the Curry boys. Big man
And little man.
and little man.
That's right. And so that
Johnny and Big
Big
Man.
Brownie
Johnny,
and Big Man. That's
Johnny
right.
and Big
They
Man.
just had a thing over their annual party, and again, it's good to see them.
Congratulations, man, and I hope everything is going well for them.
And
All Detroit is there.
all
What
Detroit
about their story? They didn't gave up.
no,
on it.
no, I hear
They
rumors.
got a wonderful story.
I hear you got, and they did such a poor job again. We've bashed away
Their story ain't really been told.
you know, because they didn't do their story justice in that way.
Because they left them out. I mean, they sort of put them in it, but not the real
Curry boy story.
Yeah, not the real Curry boy.
So they deserve their shine. I mean, just here in Detroit, and this ain't throwing no shade on Harlem. Lord knows there's some real ones out of Harlem. Shout out to brother Kevin Child. Shout out to Unique and all the brothers from New York who doing their thing online. But boy, we got a deep bench here in Detroit, man.
Oof.
We got a deep bench, man.
That's why all the cameras is here.
That's why all the cameras is here. We got a deep bench. You know, this town here.
Well, let's please be honest. Hats off to Big Meats.
Shout
That's
out.
it.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what has put Detroit front and center.
Front and center.
Yeah.
I can't say anything else but shout out to BMF and Big Meats.
Yeah.
That's number one.
Looking forward to season 3, man.
Yeah.
First 2 seasons, I gotta give it to them. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. I ain't gonna hate it all on them. I'm feeling the series. I'm looking forward to
No,
season
you
3.
can't hate on that one. That one's wonderful. I got to run with that.
Oh,
That's number one, baby.
Number one. And yeah, it's a lot more coming. And so now for people doing what we're doing, we no longer have to like try to sell people on whether these ideas work.
No.
No.
You don't have to sell them anymore.
They proved it.
They
Yeah, proof positive, baby.
yeah. For real.
Now it's our time to shine.
It is our time. Who else we want to shout out? You're over still on YouTube at Real True Street Crimes, right, Mr. Jackson?
Yeah, Big Boss. Real True Street Crime and America Real True Street Crime on Patreon.
right? We want to shout out always to Brother Vino. Vino's Apparel over there on Davison between Linwood and Dexter. Then, of course, right next to Vino's Apparel Shop. You can't miss it. Big letters, Vino. You got Blazing Hookah.
Blazing hookahs.
You know, you can get all your hookah supplies, plus he does some rental stuff. So, you know, me and the family Vino go all the way back to the Gear Unlimited days over there at 13131 Dexter. Of course, with the smallest of the world, 2 blocks away from Dexter and Leslie, where Esquires used to be, and couple blocks up the street from Jabba the Hutt, aka Tracy and Scott. So shout out to that whole crew. Shout out to Scotty D.
Tracy Sledge, Scott Sledge, baby.
Yeah, and I'm not.
Peace and love.
We
Peace
ain't gonna
and
be
love.
remiss for a shout out. You need to come on, man. I'm gonna say it again. I don't care who here. Y'all niggas is all right. All love, Mr. Cooper. Shout out to you. Shout out to your sons. Those YBI shirts. We need to all link up, man. We gotta figure some stuff out, fellas.
All I can say is peace and love to all.
Yeah.
Peace and love to all.
That's right.
But yeah, that's something that that whole neighborhood go back so far with us, right? Esquires. You know, the fine memory.
Get some money, man, because the money finna start.
That's a fact.
We're gonna see who want to get some money now. All the bullshit over.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Tubi didn't open the door and it's finna get on.
Yeah.
So all that old bullshit, go ahead on with it. Here we come.
There we go.
There you go.
What else we got coming up? We got we're gonna be doing a review on another Harlem legend. Probably it'll be episode 63. This is 62. So thanks everybody again. And if you guys are out there, please hit that like, share, and subscribe button. The algorithm just goes up and down and goes crazy. We can tell a lot of people who are watching us, family, y'all ain't hitting that subscriber button. We really appreciate you, of course, viewing. We really appreciate it though if you take the time just to hit that subscribe button. We're building this thing and we ain't going no place.
And if you get a chance, under the photo, the video you're looking at right now, hit that super thanks and drop something to us.
Yeah. What we got? What is it?
Yeah,
I'm gonna start being like, since we in Detroit and we Motown Mafia podcast, we gonna be like the Temptations from Motown. I ain't too proud to beg.
Ain't that the truth?
I'm doing good, but I ain't
When
too proud to beg.
I'd be like them begging preachers. Give me $2 now. I ain't. Pay your tithes this week, guys.
That's right.
$2. We ain't even.
But no, really, what is it? It's dollar sign.
Give me 2%. See, I'm gonna give y'all a break. I don't even want 10%. Give me 2%, $2.
We are worthy. Are we not worthy of a tip? As you say, Mr. Can I get a tip?
Yeah,
I always tip big when I went out.
Yeah.
I was a big tipper, so I wouldn't mind a tip, but I was a big tipper.
And this is on a without going all into it, we're gonna start doing some other stuff back again. Money's a black businessman. But for real, fam, we ain't just saying that we think we all. I've been saying we all we got. We all we got, and we all we got. Some might have a little more than others. Some got more than us. Some got less than us, man. But if we win, a lot of people win with us.
Yeah.
You know, indirectly you win when we win.
That's right.
Because we all come from the same community.
Your kids win
your-
when we win.
There you go. Because one day maybe your niece end up marrying my cousin. This is the real world. It's small, man. And in the black community, it's even smaller. And if you're talking about here in the D, that's why we all know each other. The town ain't but that big.
I'm a storyteller, and I tell Detroit stories mostly. Now, I tell you mostly Detroit stories, but I ain't ashamed to tell you anybody's story. So I'm a storyteller.
All right.
That's what's up.
And you got 40 years of stories to tell.
Well, I'm looking for 40 more to tell. So you understand, if y'all got some y'all want told, by all means, come over to America, Real True Street Crime on Patreon, and we'd be delighted to tell your stories.
So let me be clear. So you're telling the audience, if they've got some stories, some interesting things that's happened to them or their people in the streets, if they reach out to you, you will open your platform for them.
I would love to do so.
So you guys heard that now.
Information to do.
They gotta give you some
articles. Give me some information. I gotta have news articles. You know, I would love to tell your story.
So see, we practicing as we preach. It ain't never been just about us. You know, when we started this thing, what did we say? We wanted to tell life of people who was in the struggle,
depicting the real stories in the struggle.
Struggle
coming from the streets.
And if y'all don't know what the struggle is, then we gonna work with that. But most of us in the D, when I say the struggle, y'all know exactly what I'm talking about.
Coming from the streets.
You know, majority of this town, when your grandparents and our grandparents and they all came from either Paradise Valley, Black Bottom, or the North End. It was the only place we was at, so everybody come from
Hastings Street, baby.
All that. We all come from
the baby. Hastings Street.
We all come from the same tree, man. So it ain't even like that. We ain't, and you know, that's why I think, and I appreciate the support. You know, when we go out in this town, the love that you guys show us out there, don't think we take that stuff for granted, man, because we don't.
We appreciate
give it back. Yeah, we appreciate.
Don't forget that.
We appreciate every thank you, every keep up the good work. Don't think that we take that for granted, man, because we don't, y'all. We appreciate it. We appreciate that.
That's right.
But man, Eddie, you know I love you. Obviously, we go back like pancakes and syrup, and salt and pepper. So thanks for finding some time to stop in and chop it up with you, man.
All the way to Mark Twain, baby. All the way to Mark Twain.
And we didn't even get a chance. The fact that we lived in Southfield when it meant something. We'll talk about that another time. So they can explain to the family out there that I know it's a lot of us out there in Southfield now, but when we be talking about when we lived in Southfield, that ain't the Southfield y'all know about. When we lived in Southfield,
it was Bloomfield Hill.
We had in our subdivision, Northland Garden Loop, we had our own private security. Every night they'd come by and check the locks on everybody's house.
Whoa.
And if you had left the side door open or your garage open, the private security said, "Hey, Mr. Jackson, you know, you left your garage open."
That's right.
It was a different thing. When we talk about police response time, if we didn't turn off the burglar alarm in time, man, in 90 seconds, man.
Well, remember that in that circle you had Smokey Robinson,
Yeah.
All of the Miracles,
Otis
you had the
Wilson,
Temptations.
Temptations down the street. Lanier down the corner.
So I mean,
Owners have died down the shrimp shack across the street from you.
Laniers.
Lanier, Bob
You had
Lanier,
the
and
Greens.
the firm that's
You had the Pies.
The Pie Funeral. Shout out to, it's been a long time, but
Ariel.
shout out to Kim Pie and the Pie family of
Early
Pies.
Thompson Transmission.
What was the earlies? Oh yeah, shout out,
Thompson
man. You know what?
Transmission,
And why
the
you bring it up,
Earlys,
man?
baby.
Shout out to Melvin Early and the entire Early
Melvin
family.
Early.
Shout out to Keith Dean, brother Ford.
No doubt about it.
That crew there from
Brother
North Lane
Keith.
Garden, they've been supporting us, man. And they've been on our corner
Man, that's my team.
from the.
Friends of my life. You number one and Melvin Early is number two.
So yeah, shout out
Me
to
and
Keith
Melvin
Dean, the
go so
Ford,
back.
and Melvin
I remember
Early,
he
the
had
Early
the
family.
red go-kart goddamn.
Oh yeah, that's right. And we would be remiss, man. We talked to a friend, he's still sitting down. We praying for him to catch a break. Shout out to Spencer Holloway. You know,
Got to say nothing but peace and love to that brother there. That's the one. Brother Spencer, understand that over all the years, I pray for that man to see his way.
we're gonna do some stuff on that whole YBI era and Spencer, but he do a break. You know, we've been consistent. I mean, the man is approaching. I just spoke to him the other day. He turning doing 40 years, man. He done paid his debt to society, man.
But I want to say all my condolences to Scooter's family.
Okay,
We
but
got to always remember
anybody who lost a
and
loved one in
hoping
that.
that they might heart get a little softer and say, okay, because the shoe could have been on the other foot.
But knowing that, so just shout out to him and Spencer's part of North Lane Garden crew and all those guys from Southfield and girls that was a part of the fantasy life that we had growing up, man.
Well, my
We'll talk-
life wasn't no fantasy. It happened to be pretty goddamn good.
No, exactly.
I remember
It was a
all
fantasy
of
from
it.
the outside looking in, yo.
I
Trust
hate
me.
to say that.
Yeah, from the outside.
Maybe that.
Because it's hard for people sometimes to believe. But yeah, that was a joke, but it's not a joke. We lived in Southfield when it meant something. But anyway, with that, Big Lou, we got some other stuff coming up. We got some business stuff. The rest of that stuff we shot in New York, right?
Yeah, we
Coming
got coming to YouTube and another platform in the Black Business
Channel, right? We're going to try to spread some knowledge that once we did figure out to get out the game and put the bag down, how we've been able to eat and thrive and survive.
We got the YBI Era Motown Mafia series coming soon.
And I believe you already scheduled it, locked it in, May 12th. Is that the date?
Yes, May 12th on YouTube, and you can all watch it for free. My directorial date, well, not really, because it's my second documentary, Making the Mafia.
Wow.
How we actually went about and all.
Congratulations.
Thank you,
baby.
thank you,
Congratulations.
thank you.
That's what it's all about, baby. Moving on and forward.
Oh yeah, you see how this whole thing gets started. It really is the making of Big Boss Filmworks, the movement, the whole situation, and how it all came to be. It's been a pleasure, and I can't wait for you guys to check it out.
And it's just crazy how it's all full circle, right? 12 years ago, I said, let's make a movie, because I had saw a small budget movie on Blockbuster.
Right.
And then we got all distracted, and we was blessed and cursed because we knew some big people, which you guys will all see. So we end up out in Hollywood and dealing with the Russians.
Mm-hmm.
Then that got distracted, and then
comes
the movie,
right.
and then we're gonna do a movie, but we can't put all the pieces together. We don't even know how it really works. And then we got these big people, Ben Horowitz. Shout out to the big billionaire homie Ben out
What
there.
up, Ben?
We talking to Mike Ovitz and all that, but the dots just couldn't get connected.
That's right.
Then we want to do the doc, and again, shout out to the people at Parliament, Jen and Dave London.
Dave London.
And all them, and because they, they deserve
All
again.
them was out in Detroit, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you remember the
Yeah,
work
it
we
was
did
all
with them.
Yeah, that big red leather chair.
And it's been a long time.
It's been a long
It's been a lot of
time.
work, man.
And
And I just want to say to y'all, so y'all get this too. It's been a lot of free work. I ain't been paid for shit yet. We getting to that part now, but so you all understand when you're out here trying to make it, you ain't gonna get paid for everything you do. Feds magazine don't pay. The interview on Crime Town didn't pay. Everything I've done but YouTube pays a little bit. And Patreon, if I can get y'all to come over there, pay a little bit. But other than that, it's been strictly to get yourself out there in the view of the public and to get you all wanting the story.
Well, Luke,
No lies detected. No lies
every
detected.
penny I have made on Big Boss Filmworks, I have reinvested.
That's true.
I'm telling y'all.
That's right.
And some months with the contributing help we got of some of the other people, because Lou will tell you,
We
man,
put everything in it for nothing.
for
man,
nothing on the build something.
It's all on a dream, bro.
And
That's what it's been.
to build something to get us to the
All
point
of it.
that we knew that bringing a 40-year-old story back to life was going to be a challenge. Now we succeeded in that. We made an award-winning documentary. Again, shout out to what Al Prophet brought and
No
what he
doubt
did,
about
what
it.
he did with
American
Motown
Dope. Hats
Mafia.
off to American Dope.
You know, it's a classic.
No doubt
It's
about
a
it.
classic, and if you guys who don't know, if you haven't seen Motown Mafia, it's available right now on Tubi TV and on Amazon Prime. I'm not saying that the streets of Detroit have said it is the flagship for Detroit.
And I want
crime.
y'all all to let them know. Let's get together right now. I want all of y'all to see it. Do y'all want to see Motown Mafia 2?
That's right.
That's what's
Put it
up.
in
That's the question. Do you all want to see Motown Mafia 2? Let y'all brother at American Dope know Al Prophet. By all means, call and tell Al Prophet
Tell them.
you want to see American Dope 2. Unless he wants somebody else to take it over. But I think Al Prophet should be the one to bring the same story that he started off with, which was Motown Mafia Part 2.
Yeah, well, he gonna do that. We gonna do that. You know, Al gonna be in town next week.
Let the people tell him.
Yeah, let
if
me
he get
listen
enough
to
calls
Yeah.
from the people,
It might be
he'll
a
listen.
little bit
they'll be
better.
like, God damn,
There you
everybody
go.
calling me, telling me we ought to do another Motown Mafia 2. But then again, stay tuned to Tubi, baby.
A lot of stuff.
Yeah,
man.
lot of stuff.
Lot of stuff.
And if you get a chance, check out the merch we have under on YouTube or at shop.bigbossfilmworks.com. We got t-shirts, new ones coming in soon.
And we're thinking about starting to do some shorts. It's a lot of stuff, man. A lot of
Yeah,
stuff. You
yeah,
know, we
getting a pop-up shop together.
Ain't none of us getting younger, and for real, we not playing out there, family. We about to go and do what need to be done, cause
I agree, but I'm gonna let y'all know. I'm gonna start mock bomb eating, where I tell you a story, sit down and eat, chop up dinner and lunch with you.
Ooh-wee.
that'd be
I'm
fun,
gonna
man.
personally start mock bomb eating.
You
I
should
want
do
to
that.
venture into that.
Yeah.
That's another market. You know,
Yeah, you should do that.
it's a nice market.
Yeah.
You know,
Plus,
I like to sit down.
you think you an amateur chef anyway.
Well,
You a food
I
critic.
want to take them out to like where we go eat tonight at.
Giovanni's one of the
See, I
best
take them
Italian
out to
restaurants.
Giovanni's, sit down
Right
and
there on
let them
4th
eat
Street,
with
great
me at
Italian restaurant.
Giovanni.
Or go down to New Orleans with your son.
Yeah.
Oh, shout out
Jelani.
to
No
the
doubt
next
about it.
generation. Yeah,
Chef Jelani, baby.
Yeah.
And definitely Flowers of Vietnam. I was
You
telling
saying
you about. I
yeah?
sit down
You
and
should
eat
do that.
I want some of them prongs from Flowers of Vietnam, baby. That was delicious. Jelani took me there, Chef
That's
Jelani.
what's
It's a
up.
lot to
Down
do.
to Flowers of Vietnam.
that's what's up.
And I
Oh,
think
my
you
God.
said something. We were talking the other day, and we're gonna get out of here. Let the people get back to their deal. You know, if this wasn't fun, if I didn't get a chance to link up with some old timers like Doc and Felix and
That's
LB
right.
and KK and reunite with people like, and you know, people like, shout out to the Black Dispatch, aka Tommy Sharp, you
Hats
know,
off to the
you know,
Black
and
Dispatch.
people like that, and reconnect at the projects and spend some time with my friends. We wouldn't do it if it wasn't fun, man.
No.
That's honest.
That's the truth, man. So we
That's
love
the
you guys
funnest
out there.
thing I could do.
Since St. Mary's a reference for me, getting these cameras and putting all this work in, I mean, it's been a dream, and to actually get, it's like touching the sun, baby. That's what it's like. I mean, you know, I know the sun is there, and I'm that close to touching it, and I want to thank everybody who supports us, every video we make, everything that we do. And you're behind us. We love you. We appreciate you.
There it is. So that's your man. It's your man, CRB Jr. Hit that like, share, and subscribe button. It's Motown Mafia Podcast, a Big Boss Filmwork production, episode 62. We love you guys. Shout out again to Mr. Eddie Jackson Jr., a.k.a. he is Eddie Baby at Instagram. He is Real True Street Crimes on YouTube, and he is on Patreon. Big Lou, the other half of Big Boss Filmworks. To all the good people out there, holla at your man. Good work, fellas. Good work.
That was good work.
That's some good work.
I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah, good work.
I thought it was.
Good work.
Yeah, everybody had their moments, bro.
Yeah, good work.
Ain't that the truth?
Good
Everybody
work.
had their moments.
Good work.
That's the tag team thing you had to get used to, Juice,
yeah.
when you feed off of
Each other, yeah.
what you say. Like, that was beautiful to me.
Mm-hmm.
That's good work, man.
That, you know how many,
That's good work, man.
you know how many
And you just really
stereotype.
give honesty, Juice. You know, like a nigga asked me, am I still rich? Nigga, I'm poor as a joke, but I'm happy.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the motherfucker really, I'm happy. And that really summed it up, what we said here said, I'm happy.
And you
Doing this shit, I'm
poor,
happy.
but you live rich. Which would be
But
the
I'm
part,
happy.
and that's the part that confused the niggas.
But I'm happy.
You know?
See, that's the
And
most important part, is,
yeah.
but I'm happy.
Yeah, and you live rich.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You got anything for shorts? Any kind of little situation, stories, anything you want to share for shorts?
What was we talking about?
We had that you had that thing that happened over in Canada with the Canadian version of the Lufthansa up at that airport where they stole all them what was it, $20 million worth of stuff?
Oh,
something
gold
like that?
or something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, we can talk. We can shoot a little crime talk on that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, them shorts been moving. They've been moving
man.
the needle.
It worked, man. It
It
just worked, man. That's why these people better know, man. I don't know why they got me confused with somebody else, Lou. I don't know why they got me confused with somebody else, but I don't. I just, you know. Anyway, they be all right. Everybody gonna be all right. Everybody gonna be all right.
Everybody.
Don't be
You threw
just.
me off my train of thought at with Juice.
What's that?
And I really meant to stress this, but you fucked me up and threw me off my train of thought. It's like when Tally be saying he rich, bitch. I had $3 million and I ain't even think I was rich. I ain't think I was shit. I just thought I had $3 million. I didn't consider that rich. I didn't consider $3 million rich.
That's because you.
I'm serious. I
but
didn't
you've been
consider
so close.
$3 million
Because
rich.
you know better. Because your daddy had 20 times that. 20 years before that.
You know, I've never considered myself
He had
rich,
20
bro.
times.
No matter what I had, I've never considered myself rich.
Man, let me tell you something, man. My mama told me when I moved to New York. People say we got money, but that's because all the people around us is broke. So it seemed like to them we got money.
The struggle is relative.
You about to go to New York with people who don't even know what the word
Got
work.
real money.
Got real money. They don't even know what work means. Okay, so you're right, and I get to the guy.
But to a point, niggas will say that about us, but we do know what works means.
We do.
We
Yeah.
ain't really had it like that. We had it like that as kids. And by the
Well,
time
no.
I
When
got-
you were spending, when you had what you had for that, I can speak for that whole Pakistani bride. When you got a $5,000 a day lifestyle, $5,000 a day lifestyle.
Look,
That's
tell you
pretty.
something. That's the biggest fucking part of that I regret. Fucking with Jimmy at them goddamn titty bars. That's what my $5,000 was spent on, that goddamn titty bars with that bullshit.
That's a fact.
And I ain't had
Well-
to spend the same shit he said today, Lou.
Mm-hmm.
I could have spent $60 and got the same shit I spent $5,000 for. Same shit you just said. I paid $200 for the bitch. I see over here selling shit for $60. Now she think I'm gonna keep paying her $200, like we had a titty bar.
Hey, you know what her
It's the
mama?
same shit
Well,
you
look,
just
Elvis,
said
you know
earlier,
what?
bro.
You know what? Fuck, man. This one time I ain't lied. That same
It's the
broad that
same
we was
shit
telling
you
the
just
story
said.
in New York about, woe is me, what I get for tricking, right?
Uh-huh.
That same hooker, right? She come back over to my place in New York, but I ain't there. My roommate LB there. Now LB ain't getting no money. Now I'm paying the broad $125 an hour. I come back home. LB say, that girl Lisa came back by. I say, what? And she was like, she was just hoping she could get you. And he just smiling like a Chester cat. I was like, what's so funny? He said, $35, man. Oh, I said, $35.
Giving 125.
35.
I told the bitch I ain't got a $35.
That's what he said.
That's
like
$40.
Shit, he just said
35, 60 all day. 65, 60 a going rate.
Talk about way back when 35 was plenty.
Or something.
Plenty.
For 50, I got 2 nuts.
Yeah, 50.
25 a nut. And this girl was bad as hell after we left out of Jackson Hole.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that was one of the greatest days I ever lived in.
That's when you get real value for your dollar. You get
this
real.
girl was so beautiful, Lou. She was standing there, the bitch was just captivated. And her brother asked me, did I want her? Do I want her? And me and Junior just left out of the Jackson Hole. We drinking Tom Collins and coffee. I'm fucked up, light up my joint, look to see this bad bitch. And her brother pimping her. Her son, the brother. He said, do you want her? I said, hell yeah. He said, you can have her. I said, how much? Went right in the hotel, nigga.
NYC, buddy.
That bitch was bad.
They don't. NYC,
This
man.
bitch was bad.
Yeah.
That happened a few times.
Man, we was young than a motherfucker, man. I'm talking about we was young. We couldn't have been the
New York a
18,
motherfucker, man. That happened 2, 3 times. The guy catch you looking at the broad.
When did you first go to New York?
I was 22.
That's how old we was. I just got up there and the King Drowner, he was up there and I called him.
I'm telling you, we grew up. I
I'm
grew
in New
up.
York.
That's what did. That's what I mean. I grew up in New York. New York's what
That shit was
I
wild.
jumped into the frying pan for real. Yeah, they catch you up in New York. They catch you looking. They call your car. You want her? Tell you that. In a minute. You like what? What you?
Shit, you goddamn right I was hurt. Nigga, shit. It made it so bad, Lou. I had a number. Ain't no way I was supposed to lose.
All he do is lose phone
Oh
numbers.
man, I lost every number.
He lost the Jew with the Hasidic, the rabbi who had the bag. He lost
Oh,
I done
no.
lost every hell of a connect I ever had the number. And get him from Junior. The motherfucker was operating on 86 in Columbus. He going to Gap to work. We done been up all night.
Yeah.
He going to Gap to work. I said, okay, I'm going to come with you. I'm going up to 144 in Broadway.
Right.
He was living on 86 in Columbus, and I come out the building with him. He go and jump on the subway or whatever.
Mhm.
And I'm standing on his stoop, smoking a joint. And I look down the street and see this little 18-year-old Jew running back and forth to cars. Looked like he was selling dope to me.
Right.
And I
Right.
stood up there and smoked the joint for, damn near the whole joint by like this. Then I walked down there to him. And I asked him. He told me there was an X amount of gram, and I said, okay. I bought an ounce.
Mm-hmm.
And LB was at home. You had gone to work. LB was at home. I went back to Junior's apartment, and I cooked it up. LB was there. Me, just wasn't nobody there but me and LB, and I cooked it up.
Mm-hmm.
And I went and bought some more. And bought all the cane I needed so I could get to the bus by 5 o'clock, because I would leave at the Port Authority at 5 o'clock.
Okay.
Bought it all. I sat there with LB all day till it was time for me to go to the Port Authority.
Right.
I ain't even had to leave his goddamn house. I sat on the stoop and found the shit. Goddamn Jew boy, now check it out. He's a young guy, about 18, running serving him. It's an old man standing back here like back here,
Mm-hmm.
watching. He come here to hear the old guy and go up here and serve him.
Mm-hmm.
The old guy beard down there is nuts.
Yeah.
And both of them wearing a little bit. They Jews, bro. And they
Mhm.
was selling some of the best cane I ever got.
Yeah.
Now, they didn't give me their numbers, so when I come back to New York, you tell me to keep my number.
Cause you said they told you they move around.
They move around. That's the juice. I swear that's exactly what it is. She said, keep my number because we move around. And nigga, when I lost that number and came back and
I
went
know
there
you was
looking
sick.
for him at Junior's, I never saw him there again. Junior and them was still at 86 in Columbus. I hung around the whole day looking for them motherfuckers and they was not there. I say he told me. And he locked up and bought me Big Ed after that shit. That's what
Shout out to
Wow.
Big Ed. Shout out to
Big Ed.
Money Walk.
See, you didn't like Big Ed. Big Ed was my boy.
I compliment
You know,
Big Ed a lot of
I like
He
Big
just,
Ed.
you know what I'm telling you what
I
it
like
was?
the Big
To be
Ed.
honest, he had a big ego, and I had a big ego.
Well, see, I ain't
And
give a fuck about it. That nigga had the best game. Fuck the ego.
I knew more of his hand than he knew of my hand. So,
But Juice, you would have to admit now, Lou, you'd have been in New York, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did he take you to Big Ed's joint?
Right there.
we just did some
Was
work
it
there.
impressive?
It was
We just
Top
did
Was
notch.
it impressive?
top notch.
And a nigga slanging cane from there.
No, I mean, he was the real
And
deal,
nigga
man.
slanging keys from there.
He was the real deal, man. And a good guy.
Nah.
And a good guy.
So, you talk about ego, he didn't really have no big ego to me.
Mm-hmm.
I guess, I don't know. But to me, he didn't have a big ego. He was just a cool brother.
Mm-hmm.
Problem was, that Pakistani plug had come down, and I told you me and Tyler fell about it. You and all them keys that came trying to catch what we doing in Detroit with that raw dog. When Pop's putting a 15 on it,
Funny.
you gonna be a run.
I'ma
You
tell you
gonna
something.
be you gonna be
One
selling
thing
a whole.
I was saying about him, over time I started to realize fucking with him, and I kept prying.
But he was a
and
good guy
trying
and
to
a
get
good
it.
businessman
I
too.
was prying and trying to get it to see if you ever peeped it. The two places upstairs was Italian.
Yes,
I think he could get the dog now.
I'm sure he could have, cause he's right there out the Bronx. He could have got the dog too. Yeah,
I
he
just
could.
never asked him.
And you know
It
on
never
that,
dawned
you
the
know
fuck
on that
me
too.
to ask him,
And-
because remember Pablo and Crazy.
I was gonna
had it.
say they
I
had told you.
that.
The Pablo and them had
Pablo
told you they
showed
had
it to
you saw-
Crazy showed it to me after I was buying it for him.
He showed you the dog,
Bro, how you think I calmed him down?
and you that's when, right before you got robbed. You kept talking about you was gonna get some dog from him.
Because every time I was going there, I would give Crazy $50 in the morning to go get his due. Or $100 to go. And Crazy would always walk me to the car with the gun. I started taking care of Crazy. And Crazy told me before, I don't you do no business, I'm not here. And I should have listened to the man, I never would have got robbed. Just that simple. If I had listened to Crazy, I would have never got robbed.
Yeah.
And you was scared to death of him.
Man, that
You
nigga was
wouldn't go back
crazy.
in the building for that.
But you know what I did?
That
I did
shit,
cop a
like
couple
me
more times.
sitting here laughing, that shit was so funny like that then, Lou, because I was sitting up there doing what I do now, smoke weed, because Crazy was going off, and he was sitting me all up in Junior's face, motherfucker.
Oh, nigga,
Crazy
we was about to
stupid.
die fucking
But I'm
with
going to tell
man.
you this.
He was about to die fucking
Pablo was the coolest, calmest
Now he was calm,
motherfucker it was.
but
one.
Crazy was just that.
That was his, man, come on, now you can see the act, Lou. You can see this shit clear as day, and the shit used to be funny to me. So they take us in there to the, what was that, Santa Maria?
Santa Maria, man, that was
Oh,
about
they
to
took
kill
us
us.
in there. That's the only
Fucking
time
with
I
you.
have ever seen that in my life. They take us in there to the Santa Maria.
They had the
Fucking
Fucking
shrine.
candles.
Junior over there, we stand up there at the wall, I'm smoking weed, get out. What we looking for? Junior over there shaking like a motherfucker.
Nigga.
Junior over there shaking like
You know
a
what I was thinking to
motherfucker.
myself,
Lou,
Eddie?
talking about, I
about
looked
to
at
die.
him smoking weed, said, what we looking for?
We
The
about to
motherfucker
die.
looked at me. Said this motherfucker is stupid. So I know he can't be no goddamn police talking about what we looking for. He stand up here in front of the wall, fly every goddamn thing. Candles,
That shit was a show.
brand new candles. I mean,
The
pictures,
cards.
all kind of shit. Everything, man.
Wow.
I looked at that shit. Junior really got scared, Lou. I mean, he really got scared. And I'm like, what the fuck is you scared for?
Cause we're about to die, nigga. You the only one didn't realize we was about to die.
I ain't never see that. I didn't see that movie. That shit was
I
funny.
did. I saw the movie, nigga. I was trying to give you the preview, nigga. We're not leaving here. There's this man that fucked around. We came over here unannounced. The people got all this cane in here. We ain't had no meeting. We ain't sent no warning. We didn't show it up
Look,
unannounced.
I grabbed the crackhead. He told him, I'm his cousin. Well, goddamn it, come on, I'm
Your cousin, but yet you don't speak Spanish. And
Don't
they all
worry about
Dominican and Colombian.
Hey, I'm black enough.
You look the part.
See, that's the part you don't know. I'm black enough. That motherfucker looked at himself, looked at me, you black enough, you my cousin.
Man, we same people, same people.
Same people.
Same people.
How many
That's
times?
This my
How many
cousin.
times have they asked you? You from Africa, right?
man, same people. And I be like, yeah. And they be what part?
Man,
And I
them
say,
niggas-
I ain't sure what part.
They used to always mistake me for Cuban.
Yeah.
I don't know why Cuban. They used to always think I was Cuban.
Yeah, a lot of dark skinned Cubans. A lot of
Yeah.
dark
I guess that's why. I guess I didn't meet the African.
Is it cool to go there now?
Where?
Cuba.
Man, you know the government playing games.
They're
man.
still playing games.
You know
Okay.
they don't like Castro and them. You know he dead. They still mad at him. That's when you know you got on somebody's nerve. When you die, they still mad at you. Yeah, but we can, you know, for all jokes aside, the Lewis family out there, we can go because we are documentarians.
Yeah.
And you're allowed to go if you're in this kind of business.
Mm-hmm.
And I was actually thinking about this Christmas going down to Cuba. They got some gorgeous women down there too.
Oh.
You know, don't take much from me, some pretty bras to encourage me to go do some work. But no, all jokes aside. Plus, you know, I'm a history guy.
Yeah.
We can go down there and do some work. Actually,
Yeah. Fascinating.
we just have to tell the government we're going down there as Big Boss Filmworks. We're gonna do some documentary work in Cuba, and that's about the only way you can get down there. You need to like be going down there with school, doing like what we do with documentary, some type of content work, or some type of like cultural exchange.
Look, I tell them simple as this. That's my homeland. I want to go home.
That's why the white folks ain't talking to you. They say, cause you talk just like your daddy, and we tired of y'all already. We been listening to you Jackson.
When they gonna tell me that ain't my homeland, I
That's
can't
right.
go home.
For 50 years,
They tell me
they gonna
all
say-
Cubans can go home.
for 50 years, you and your
Is that
father.
the rule?
For 50 years, you
Is
and your
that not
father
the rule?
been talking to these white folks
Can an
like
American
that.
Cuban go home?
Look, they don't want to hear that from y'all, though.
Well, I guess so.
You go to Little Havana in Miami. That's what
Yeah,
you do.
that's about far as they go.
You go to Little Havana in Miami. You live down there. You live down there with the rest of the Cubans, so there you go.
That's all right. I ain't got no problem. I like Cuban people, man.
Yeah.
Like you said, they got pretty women.
They got beautiful women.
Yeah,
I
no
mean, you
problem.
right next door to it too. So.
Man, this is
I
so
ain't
many.
got no-
Well, Trigger, he close. He in Miami. He
That's
in
what I'm
Little.
saying.
When I say he in Little Havana,
Oh, that's for real.
that's for real.
That's no word of a lie.
No, man, they there. And
When that holiday coming up, nah, see, they don't really celebrate
Great
Cinco
Cinco
de
de Mayo.
Mayo.
That's
No,
more
that's
Mexican.
Mexican.
That's
They
Mexican.
don't fuck with that. Man.
shout out to on that though. Al gonna
They
be in
do
town. You'll be
Carnival
at.
on the Mile.
They do.
Yeah,
Carnival.
Al just did
He'll be here
he
next
did-
month. For
yeah.
he's doing a party on the 5th.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he just threw something out in Cali.
A BMF
No
pop up.
doubt about it. That sounds good.
Yeah. In fact, we're trying to coordinate to do a pop up here.
That's
Yeah,
right.
that
That's
sounds
right.
good. Why not?
Get them. Get that merch piece together.
Yeah, we're gonna get some new fresh merch. Oh yeah, let me see why. Speaking of a short, you can edit. I guess you can make it
Yeah.
short.
Yeah.
Let me
Alright.
show you this customized Dakota's coatwear. Brother Alfonso did some customized work for us. You can catch him up out at the Greenfield
Turn
Plaza.
around and show the back of it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This comes from. We were chronicled
Well,
when
that's
this journey
wonderful.
first began.
He really did some good
He
work.
did
on
some
that.
work there. It's a
He really
customized
did
one
some
of a
good
piece.
work.
This is the cover shot
I
from
got to
Feds
look at that.
magazine.
That is beautiful.
So you got my pops there. Shout out to Spencer Mims. He's still with us.
Yes, sir. Peace
Dear
to
friend of my
Spencer
father.
Mims.
Spencer
Right on,
Mims.
Spencer Mims.
You got the
Oh,
legend
you know.
himself, Eddie the Fat Man Jackson,
Rest in
holding
peace.
court, young lady unknown. You got Zach Garrett. We about to do something with his younger brother Charlie Garrett down there at the Pruda.
Zach
And
is
then,
gone, rest in peace.
yeah, I believe so.
Rest in peace.
And then you got Big Willie Kilpatrick, an
Rest
integral
in
member of
peace.
the crew. And rest in peace to Big Willie Kilpatrick. So yeah, this is at the 20 grand, and you got the iconic photo of Pops and Eddie just kicking in the front of the building on Geneva.
beautiful.
On Geneva, this was the picture chronicled in episode 2 of Blowing Money Fast. So yeah, this is Dakota. Shout out to Alfonso Dakota's coatwear, customized piece. Big Boss Filmworks. You can order one. We can have something customized for you too, because that's what we do. We link up with the family. Me and Alfonso go back to our days at Hall of Fame Clothing at Fairlane. We've been carrying his goods, and he reached out to us and told us he was back into the jacket business, and told us he could do some stuff that can't be done no place else. And he ain't talking. He ain't talking. He ain't talking. He doing it. Yeah.
That's world class, brother.
Yeah. So shout out to the family out there, man. It's all gravy. We can make a movie. I was like,
If they can do it.
if they can do this and it's at Blockbuster. Now, I know nothing about cinematography or nothing. I just watch movies, right? I know nothing about it. I know nothing that you have any interest in films.
No, we were in clothes,
We were
garments.
deep into the retail world and on a whole different grind.
A gentleman in some expensive clothes approached me and said, I'm Courtney Robert Brown Jr., etc., blah, blah, blah. And next thing you know, fast forward 11 years, and we own the $20 million block, French Road and Mac. And this just another chapter in a lot of really powerful content me and him have done, and talking about the 40-year saga of his and other families here in Detroit doing illegal things and legal things.
You can't talk about that era without talking about the biggest real name of that era, at least around here, meaning where he was in Southfield,
Right.
without talking about Eddie and Courtney.
Yeah.
And at that point, I knew about Eddie and Courtney from reading that famous front page story as a newspaper from my research, but I didn't really know the ins and outs or the particulars. And he started to school me on it. So then when I had an opportunity to hook up with the real deal Holyfield, it's like they're got colored up even more. And
The rest became history. So